Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here today, and you should be too. And today, we've got this piece of, well, it's calcite on shale, basically. Actually, calcite on limestone. And it was a calcite vein inside of limestone. So let's take a little bit closer look at this. So what we got here, like I said, it's calcite vein that was inside of limestone. It got cracked open. Now, my idea here is I can make a really nice large stone, probably this shape, depending on how badly this, or how deep these gnarlies go in this piece. As you can see, it sort of dips down here on this side. And, well, I'm thinking of getting a really nice big piece, and I have some ideas, if it comes out as a big piece, of a way to sort of enhance it. And got stuff to take off the back, of course. So that gives you a general idea of what I'm thinking of. And this is out of the driveway. Yep, love my driveway, man. I'm telling you, you get the best rocks out of there. So, I mean, without further ado, let's just get over onto the wheel and let's get on it. And I got a message. So I'm going to start working this edge down a little bit. Like I said, I want to try and get a nice oval shape out of this. Or more like a drop shape. Luckily, these are not very hard stones. So working a bigger one like this is not going to take a tremendous amount of time. So I really got to be careful with it because, like I said, it's soft. Okay, that back sort of works. Or the edges are sort of worked. Let me see if I can get the back taken down a little bit. Oh boy, yeah. Okay, this is going to take some time. And if you see, we got a nice bit of calcite on the back here. I'm afraid most of that's going in a vein like this. And you see that vein going across there. So me get this down to a decent thickness, I think it's going to, probably going to lose almost all of that. Could make it like a two-sided stand-up stone like that, but that's not really what I was looking for doing. Looking for doing? Oy. Yeah, my words are really working well today. And as I'm cutting it down on the back, we may come across some other stuff that might change the plan, but as it goes for now, this side is the plan. Stick to the plan! Stick to the plan! Okay, we got pretty much down to the thickness I want. But I think I'm going to start working on the face of this a little bit. Not so much on the face, but on the sides. Because we still got a really deep divot in the top right there. So I'm going to have to bring this side in probably like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Try to work this side down to this shape. You can see it sort of blubbered out over on that way. Slowly getting there. Okay, we're getting more pleasing shape. Still, this side's got to come down a little more. I'll probably do it this way for a while. Hey, now we're getting more into the shape we need. And you see we're starting to pick up a little bit of thickness on that vein right there too, which is good. Okay, now we need to round this corner off a little bit. Thought, what in the world's that? Yeah, that's actually coming along nicely. That is really starting to take shape. And it's the shape that we would like. Okay, we still got a really nasty gnarly right there. So I'm going to work the back just a little bit more. Work that down. And then I can get a better idea. Better idea of this front. Like I said, thankfully this is not hard stone to work. If this was really hard, like carnelian or something like that, man, I'd be grinding away here forever. So, let's focus. There. Alrighty, I think I'm going to start taking this edge and rolling it up. Like I'm going to have to play this by ear as I go here. Might be able to get like a dark halo around it, which I think would look pretty cool. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll hopefully see here in a minute. Okay, maybe I can round some more off the top here. Okay, focus. Boy, that being white just sort of flushes out the camera there. Okay, you can see them sort of getting a black ring around the white stone. That's what I was saying about a halo. Halo! Okay, I think I can gently start rounding off the dome. When I say gently, I mean it, because this wheel will rip the crap out of soft stones like this calcite. Got to be very genteel about it. Gentile. And you can see there's a lot of divots in there, especially that way there. I have to get all those divots out and get this down to a nice smooth dome if we're going to make it look good. So it could end up being a lot thinner than I was hoping it would be. If this vein is nice and thick, then that'll give us a good bit to work with. If not, then we'll see what the stone wants to be after that. Now, one thing I know, it wants to be the best version of itself. That's all we can ask anyone. Or any stone. Just gonna have to be gentle. This gnarly right here, and you can see that gnarly as I bring it across there, right there at the top. That's the gnarly of significance right there. The gnarly of significance. So far it's looking pretty good. It's just that big old gnarly in there that we got to get out. Let's look at it from this direction. The dome's pretty nice. These little black spots that show through, that shouldn't hurt anything. I mean, that's just going to add character. Get the water out of it. Yep, that gnarly is pretty darn deep. Deep gnarly. Oh, I think the gnarly's coming out. Oh my gosh, I think it is out. Yes, I think it's out about as far as we're... Oh, there's still a little bit of gnarly in there. And we are getting that nice halo around there. Hey, this is starting to work out pretty good. And to be honest, I think I'm going to have to go to the other wheel. I might take a little bit off the back here yet. Try to even this back end up. As much as possible. What do we got on the back end? Do we have anything we should save? Well, that doesn't look too bad. I might leave a little bit of a dome on that back end too, instead of flattening it. We could have a nice setting edge on the side and still a dome on the back end. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to have to go to the next wheel because this wheel is going to be way too aggressive for doing the fine stuff we need to do. So, time to jiggle your eyeballs out. Let's move this over here. Alright, now we can start working on this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put a setting edge on this, even though I might round the back. Ooh, got a deep gnarly right there. I wonder how that's going to affect the shape. Okay, what do we got for shape? Decent shape. I got to readjust this bottom edge a little bit. And so far everything's looking pretty good. Alright, now I'm going to start working on the dome. Ah! Sliding out of my fingers. You can sort of figure this one is not going onto a stick. I don't think that's going to actually help. There, now we're getting that halo around it that I wanted. If I did put it on a stick, it would have to go on with wax because that back end is not very flat. Oh, and I got a new computer. I was watching a video the other day. I was getting ready to start editing the last video I put up on the channel, and I was just watching something on YouTube, and the computer froze, and then it just went blink and shut off. Now, I wasn't too concerned because it does that quite a lot. That computer is 12 years old. It was bought back in like 2012. And it does crash on me a lot. And when I started it back up, I got the blue screen of death. And it's like, uh-oh. So that was not good. And I couldn't get it to start. I couldn't get it to go past the blue screen. 3 days. 3 bloody days I messed with that thing. Because there was some videos on there that I hadn't edited, and well, they weren't put back into onto the, oh, I can't think of the name. What am I trying to say, chicken? The backup drive. That's it. I hadn't put anything on the backup drive because it was just all raw data on there. And I'm like, oh no, I don't want to lose like 3 videos. And I usually back up, whenever I post it, I back up the video. You know, I put it in the archives. So to say, on my external hard drive. That's the word. External hard drive, yeah. And I had not done that with the raw data yet, which I'm going to do from now on. Put all the raw data in first. So let's see what we got. Ooh, that's looking pretty good. There's still a little bit of that gnarly there. And some tiny little specks. I think there's one. Can we get focus in enough? Yeah, you can sort of see it right there in the glare. And right there in the glare. But with these big stones like this, it's hard not to get some little bits of gnarlies in there, because that's a lot of calcite, and the calcite has voids and stuff in it anyway. I'm going to work over this edge. Let's see what it looks like somewhat dried off. Focus. That's looking pretty good all around. And that's probably about all I can do with that front. Now I'm going to work the back. So anyway, I was working and working, trying to get that thing to go, and I realized that I need a new computer. I mean, there's just... That thing had a Intel i3 processor in it, and trying to run even Shotcut was making that poor thing scream. It was, you know, a 20-minute video would take me 2 hours and some odd minutes to render. And the entire time the processor is running just about maximum heat. And it just wasn't working for YouTube videos. So I got on Amazon. Well, I checked the stores around, and it's like they do not have a computer that had what we need to process videos in a timely manner. I mean, it could barely run Shotcut. And if any of you use Shotcut, it's a good editing program, but doesn't take up a lot of resources. But it was doing all it could do to run Shotcut. And then render the video. Whew, yeah, the hamster that was running that machine inside was screaming at me in hamsterese, calling me all kinds of names and stuff. And I found on Amazon a small form factor computer with a Ryzen 7, 32 gigabytes of memory. And it was a pretty good price. It was on sale. It was a pretty good price, so I bought that. And I got it, hooked it up, and man, that thing runs so well. The last week's video, it took me, well, I edited it and Shotcut, and wow, editing was snappy, it was great, and then it took 8 minutes and 30 seconds to render, which I was amazed, because that would have been a 2-hour rendering project there, with that processor running at 100% the entire time. So, yep, we have stepped up here. Alrighty. Actually, this back looks pretty for a piece of lightning calcite. That's nice. Got to put the sound effects in there. And this side, yeah, that's looking pretty good. Can we get a focus in closer here? Yeah. Let me dry it off. That's looking pretty good. And I like the shape. Everything looks pretty nice. I don't even think I'm going to take it across it again. Even though this side's a little bit off. I could maybe... Oh, should I? Yeah, I think I will. I'll try and even that halo up around it without causing too much more damage. I'm afraid it, take off too much here or there, then the shape changes and everything else goes wonky, and that's not what you want. You want it to be even, but you don't want to... Let's see, should I go any farther than that? I don't think so. Something's telling me no. So, let's stop the water and the power on that, and we're going to have to go over to this next wheel. It's actually going a little bit quicker than I thought it would. And now we are at the wheel of the bad valve. The bad valve, which is actually working better than it has for quite some time. We just have to get a new set of valves. They're only a couple dollars. Alright, let's take a look here and focus. So let's start with the edge here. And this should not take very long. This calcite's soft, and the matrix material is soft, and as long as you're careful, you can get a decent job out of this. As you can see, there's a lot of material coming off even on this wheel. So you've got to be gentle when you're working this stuff. I think this is going to turn out to be a really nice pendant, even though it is on the big side. The big side. Holy smokes! I am not shoving my hand back in there when that thing's going. That's just unsafe. Okay, clean this off. Did anything get all wonky? Nope. See, I sort of like the way that gets sort of mottled around the edges. It gives it depth and texture. Character. And we like character in our stones. We like them to be pure and perfect and absolutely museum quality, but also character is nice. Now you can see, look, I took too much off down there, even with this wheel, because it's easy to do. That was actually probably pretty thin, so I'm going to have to be a little more careful. And I'm going to do the back side up the same way. Holy smokes! Tell you what, my fingers are bad today. They've been bad for the last for about the last week. The weather's changing, arthritis starts hurting, and it just makes it a challenge. Sometimes I could do with less challenges. Of that nature, anyway. Not going to stop me cutting stones, that's for sure. Especially when you make beautiful things like this. These stones want to be the best versions of themselves, and they can't cut themselves. So we have to do it. I actually found this stone several months ago, and just had it sitting there looking at it to see what I wanted to do with it. See, how's the back looking? Oh, got some, I could use a little more love there in the center. Now, I don't always pick a stone up and go, oh wow, I'm cutting this right now, and then jump right into it, because sometimes things like this one, you need to think about it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's better. And this front, let's see how it looks dry. Focus. Yep, that's looking pretty good. I've learned with these thick calcite veins like this, you're not going to get it absolutely perfect. Okay, so we're going over to the next wheel now. Okay, and it's the 1200 grit wheel. Get some water going. Come on, water. There it is. This one always takes a little bit more to get going. I don't understand why. And this one won't take very long, but we're going to give it a good going over. Make sure there's no rocks there to, if it falls out of my hands again, to make them get down there or whack them and then get cracked or something. then the chicken would be like, oh, and I don't want him doing that. I'm going to make sure I get every little bit of this one, all the edges, all the sides. It's not a two-sided pendant, but the back side is still nice. Has that nice lightning bolt thing going on. I know people have said, why do you bother cutting calcite? And it's like, well, do you see what they look like afterwards? And it's like, that's why. Calcite can be beautiful. Beautiful, I say. Okay, make sure we get the whole edge the whole way around. And the whole way down into this front. Even though my fingers aren't working. Okay, I believe. Focus. There. You can see there's a, right there where the flash is, there's a gnarly. Focus, there. Yeah, there's a bit of a gnarly there. And there's a few little gnarlies across there, but the ZAM will polish even down into that. So, next thing, we're taking this over to the desk. We're going to take this over to the desk. We're going to hit it with the ZAM. And then I shall show you the finished product. So, don't go away! And we're back. And, well, I got to zoom in on this because this is pretty awesome. And then this stone is pretty darn awesome. Now that one gnarly that we had, it's right there. And that goes pretty deep. And I think if I tried to take it out, it might just chip away anyway. And I would start losing some of this other structure. So it's just going to have to stay. But if you look at the rest of it, it is fairly gnarly free. And there's some right down there in the flash. You can see one, and there's a little bit over there. But otherwise, that is pretty darn nice. And the back, I mean, you can see the reflection of the LED light up there. I mean, that's pulling a really good shine. And there's some really nice, I'm hoping the camera picks this up. There's like lighter brown motley colors going across there, and then you got this lightning bolt coming down through. So the back even looks nice on this. And this is pretty much how I envisioned this stone to come out. That's what I wanted. I wanted that black halo around it, and then the white calcite with those mottled, deep, mottled colors, and that deep look with the black showing through it places. You can see this thunderbolt vein comes around the stone. It goes the whole way up around here like that, and then dies over into here. Actually, it goes the whole way around. Comes over to here. So that's another calcite vein that runs through there. I hope it's hoping to pick it up. But shiny, yeah, I don't know if I can get any closer and make it any better. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. But yep, that's pretty darn awesome. I'm pretty sure that this stone has become the best version of itself. But either way, or anyway, this stone is a win. So, if you liked the video, subscribe, ring the bell, and you'll know when I'm doing more stuff. And I won't say I'll be doing more now that I have a new computer, but I'll be doing stuff a lot easier. And I may be able to use a different editing program, maybe put more oomph in the videos, and who knows what. But we're back on track, and everything is working well. So, thanks for spending some time with me, and have a good evening.